this big is going to be a lot about your skills necessary for you to tweak your own ecosystem, the stuff that is happening in your family. And one of the things I tell people often is a lot of times people think, since I'm good at conversational programming, like I can win an argument. And I tell people that's not the way I think about it, because the whole idea of conversational programming is for you to evaluate frames. And I think there are times you want to adapt somebody else's frame, and there are times you know that a particular frame is right, but you still do not want to change that frame for that other person. You still want to accept their frame. It's also about the wisdom of knowing when you want to let go and when you want to hold on to the frame. So I think when it comes to family, it's a very delicate thing, and especially if you have to have the leverage to be able to change somebody at the last minute. There's a family member, a far relative of mine, and she had cancer, and her family did not want her to go and take the scan and see how far it spread, because doctors had said that she's not going to live for more than 2 months, and why to bother her with the awareness that she has cancer. So let her just peacefully ignore that, and peacefully be unaware of it. And now she taught me how to make mango pickles when I was like very young, and she was relatively very old, and she used to always be in the garden. She's a garden girl. Like when I was a small boy, I used to see her water plants and just like long lands, and she used to make arrangements for the water to flow through, and taking away the grass and keep cleaning and keeping the garden right. So when I went to speak to her and I saw her in the bed, I started talking to her about gardening, and I spoke to her about how when I was young I used to pluck these mangoes and come behind the kitchen and give it to her so that she can cut it and give it to me. And then I said that, do you remember that when I asked you, like, why you're not putting these mangoes in the oil? She said, and she said, yeah, because you have to make sure that the oil doesn't damage the mango and doesn't fry the mango. She said it in Tamil. And then she said, but at the same time she said kadugu. I don't know what it is in English.
Mustard.
So that has to get fried in the oil. So I said it's possible that the mustard can fry in the oil and the mango doesn't. Now some of you understand that that's a metaphor. And then I said, why do you pull out grass? And she said, because other plants have to grow. I said, let them grow, let the grass grow. She said, no, it can't. The grass takes away the richness of the soil. Oh, does it? And she said, yeah. And it said, if you don't pull out the grass, it's going to affect the other plants. She said, yeah. Now, when I said this, I was pointing exactly at the place where she had cancer. Now, I kept doing this, and this went on for about 45 minutes to an hour and a half. And at the end of it, she was in an altered state. I just left her there, saying with the presupposition that I'm going to see her after 6 months, just about three times the time frame that the doctor had given her. So she survived 2 years after that, 2.5 years after that. And when she died, the cause was not the cancer. Now, I'm not claiming that she had a remission from cancer. But I do know that that particular metaphor and storytelling that day had an impact. So it's just one example of many things that can happen. And through experience, I know that people, have come out of drug addiction, have come out of that particular friend who might have just corrupted their entire life, have been able to do so many things that are otherwise challenging. Just a misunderstanding. It's unbelievable how sometimes two loving people, two good-hearted people can completely hate each other for their value system when they both have the same value system. And we call that misunderstanding. But the problem is when such a misunderstanding exists, if for most times it looks almost impossible to break through to that misunderstanding. So you know both the people, and you are trying, you know that they both have good people and they don't mean each other the misunderstanding that they both have. But if you can't do anything about it, that's very sad. But that's the reality, that's the day in and day out reality in a lot of families. So my point to you is that even if all the 10,000 hours that you commit helps you just get that one shift with that one person at that right time, that effort is totally worth it.